Even in Ramayana we find that the whole Ramayana is already written and already done. Before Bhagavan took avatar, already the whole Ramayana was written. In Tulsi Ramayana, Shivji wrote the Ramayana. Tulsidas ji says, he wrote and then he told this Ramayana to Parvati ji. Just like a person writes a drama. Drama was already written and then all the actors they come and they enact it. Similarly, the whole drama is already written. We are just enacting our drama without knowing that we are enacting. We have totally got engrossed into it and it is an enaction. When Ahalya was cursed, she was cursed to become a stone. So then she was also told that one day Ramchandraji will come and when he touches you, you will become free of this curse. That time Ramchandraji was not even born, the avatar also had not taken place. So what? What does it mean that Ramchandraji's whole yatra was pre-planned? He had to come there, he had to touch with his feet Ahalya and he had to do Ahalya Uddhar. Even in this, you find Bhagavan says in the 11th chapter that, hey Arjuna, I have already fought this war and everyone is killed. You just do action replay. Maya hatamidam sarvam. You just nimitta matram bhavasavya sachin. You just become a nimitta. You just hold your bow and all. I have already shot that person. So this is what it is. One understands deeply and withdraws and drops this sense of doership and the sense of possessiveness, then one will become free of that. That itself is called freedom from all attachment. And this comes when we understand the spontaneity of action, the beauty that God alone is acting. This has to be experienced deeply, not that you just on your lips one says it. It is something which has to be experienced. So asakta buddhihi sarvatra jitatma, one becomes the controller of one's own senses and the mind. With senses and mind fully under control, vigata spruhaha, free from all cravings, free from all desires, Bhagavan says, Naishkarmya siddhim paramam, one attains Naishkarmya siddhi. Naishkarmya siddhi means the state of enlightenment. So through karma yoga, our mind becomes pure and becomes free from attachment. The mind comes under control, becomes free of all desires, and then one attains the state of enlightenment. Naishkarmya siddhi. It's also called jnana nishtha. It's also called state of that sthita prajna. Naishkarmya siddhi. Naishkarmya means freedom from all karma. Freedom from karma means the karma happens, but you are no longer the doer of the karma. You become free from the sense of doership completely. Karma is happening, but I am no longer doing anything. See, sometimes our limbs also something moves and all. Nice? Some people, I mean that may be some defect of the body and all, but sometimes it happens, the certain limb and all unconsciously, unknowingly it moves. And you also see, अरे ये क्यों हिल रहा है ऐसा? मैं तो नहीं हिला रहा हूँ. नहीं? Suppose you are sitting and suddenly the hand goes and says bye bye to people. नहीं? You will start wondering ये क्या हो रहा है? I mean just so a realized master also looks at the whole world as a drama, even his body and the whole thing is happening. It's just happening in front of him as a witness. He is seeing, he is looking at it. Everything is unfolding in front of him spontaneously unfolding in front. So Naishkarmya Siddhi, abidance in one's own self, which is not a doer, one attains that state. Paramam, this is the supreme state of realization. And how does he attain? Sannyasena adhigacchati, ultimately through sannyas, through renunciation. Renunciation of what? Renunciation of this sense of doership happens. When the sense of doership drops, the ignorance drops, all confusion of the mind drops, one attains that state of enlightenment. Sannyasena adhigacchati. Before also Bhagavan said, Tyage naike. What you call? Tyagat shanti anantaram. In the Upanishad also it is said, Na karmana na prajaya dhanena tyage naike amrutatvamanashuhu. That only through tyaga that state of enlightenment is attained. So here Bhagavan says that through karma yoga, the mind becomes pure, free from attachment. Mind comes under control, it becomes quiet and serene. One becomes free of all desires and then attains, and through sannyas means the sense of doership drops off completely and one attains the state of enlightenment. Naishkarmya Siddhi. All of us can attain this. It's not meant only for Arjuna or someone, but all of us. And it's so scientific and so wonderful. And no other guidance or anything is required. If one studies Bhagavad Gita itself deeply, sincerely, without taking it for granted. Our problem is we take things for granted. Things nahi, scriptures for granted. We feel, हाँ समझ में आ गया, हाँ मैं तो बचपन से बहुत सुना है. I know everything. When we have this notion and when we take it for granted, we don't think, we don't go deep into it. We have to think deeply, and that there's a flash of lightning, the understanding will dawn. It's like a joke. When suppose somebody tells you a good joke and you don't laugh, what does it mean? Either the joke is not good, but I said it is a good joke. Then what it means? That it did not click. It did not click. You cannot say, हाँ ये joke सुन लिया, अभी दूसरा सुना दो. And your face is same. अच्छा वो हो गया, चलो दूसरा तीसरा. अच्छा ये joke है क्या? अच्छा ठीक. That is what is happening to us. Bhagavan says something which as a flash of lightning, it should give us that state of enlightenment. We say, हाँ ये श्लोक हो गया, अभी चलो दूसरा कर लेते हैं. So for that you have to think, contemplate, and then it will show its effect. So how one can go from the state of karma yoga to that state of enlightenment? Bhagavan says there are some steps which I will explain. In the next verse he says, Siddhim prapto yatha brahma तथाप्नोति निबोध में समासेनैव कौन्तेय निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा सिद्धिं प्राप्तो यथा ब्रह्म तथाप्नोति निबोध में. Siddhim praptaha. Siddhi here means the purity of the mind which one attains through karma yoga. Bhagavan says, having attained this purity, how one can then come to recognize one's own self as Brahma. Tatha yatha Brahma tatha apnoti nibodha me. You listen to me, you understand this. So our sadhana is to just purify the mind, make the mind absolutely pure. And that absolute purity of the mind is attained through karma yoga as indicated here. And this karma yoga then once it is done, followed, then we can gain that right understanding and attain that state of enlightenment. So siddhim praptaha, so that purity of the mind is most important. Purity of the mind means mind free from raga, dvesha, likes and dislikes, mind free from kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsara, mind free from all ignorance. Then the mind is pure. Pure mind is a peaceful mind, pure mind is a happy mind, pure mind is sattvic mind, pure mind is which doesn't is used as an instrument. Pure mind is not the boss, it is just an instrument, just like our mobile. We are the boss, but at times mobile is the boss actually. Mobile has become our boss. Mobile will not follow us, we will follow the mobile. So pure mind is like an instrument. Whenever it is required, we use it. If not, then we keep it aside. So siddhim praptaha yatha brahma. So having attained this siddhi of purity of mind, yatha brahma apnoti. How one can attain that brahma? Attain brahma means recognize ourselves as brahma. We are already that brahma. We don't have to go and attain something. It is not that we are someone and then we have to become brahma. We are already what is indicated. We are already that Brahma. In scripture it is said, Tattvam Asi. Asi means you are that. You are that supreme. Not that you will become supreme. Not that you should strive to become one with that supreme. Nothing like that. You are that. Then what is the problem? Problem is the mind. Problem is the impurities in the mind. Once those impurities get removed, eliminated, then it is very easy to recognize yourself as that Brahma. Those stages, Bhagavan says, I will reveal to you, nibodhame, you understand it. Samasena eva kaunteya, hey kaunteya, briefly I will, samas means briefly I will tell you. Why briefly, why not elaborately? It says, I have already spoken lots to you. I have told you in detail. Here I will tell you briefly how from Karma Yoga you can attain the state of enlightenment. Those stages I will tell you briefly. Samasena eva kaunteya nishtha jnana. This is called jnana nishtha. Abidance in the knowledge that I am Brahma. See, when we listen, like you listen to the pravachan, when we read and when we listen, we come to recognize, when we come to understand that I am that Brahma, but that abidance is not there. First of all, the conviction is not there. And even if that conviction is not there, abidance might not be there. After some time we forget. Mind is very strong. The thoughts and the impressions in the mind are strong. It again takes us back into this samsara. It's like a person who was a beggar, and he was a Khandani beggar. His father was also a beggar, and his grandfather was also a very good beggar. And he was he used to sit on a particular a box and beg. That was their traditional begging methods. They used to have an ancient box, and on that they used to sit, his father, and then later, so he used to beg. One day one Mahatma came there and he said, you open that box. He said, no, nobody has done, my father never opened, my grandfather never opened. It is against our tradition, we should not open, we should just sit on the box and beg. It is very holy and it is very religious and it is very, very lucky. Mahatma says, no, you open the box and you will find great khajana in that box. So he did not believe, but afterwards he believed in that Mahatma. He opened that box and there was treasure there, great treasure. Just like sometimes they open the temple door and all somewhere, and the great treasure comes. So great treasure was there. Overnight he became very rich, And he bought a big house and car and this and that and very happy with that. But at night when he used to dream of begging only. That he is sitting on the box and begging. And during the day also, every now and then, he should have that urge to sit on the box and beg. Because that nishtha is not there, just suddenly becoming rich, but the samskar of being poor for so many generations is there still in the mind. Like countries actually, sometimes slave mentality, if it is there from the past generation, it continues for a long time. Even when the foreign rule is not there and all, still sometimes the slave mentality will be there. Similarly, I am a jiva, I am a limited being, I am born, I die. This is a very, strong impression is there. And when we gain this understanding, it will not go immediately. One has to get abidance in that understanding that I am Brahma. So that is called jnana nishtha. So samasena eva kaunteya nishthat jnanasya ya para. That parat jnana nishtha, how one can gain abidance in that, I will tell you briefly. So that Bhagavan now reveals in the following verses. We will see it tomorrow. Now we will just sit and meditate for some time.